Good morning, everybody. This here is Sheepdog, and I'm just doing my second video. I already did a video this morning, spent 20 minutes on it, but made it way too long. So I'm going to make this one short. This second video is going out to all the military. I got a response from my first video by a sergeant. Forgive me, Sergeant, I forget your name. Gillico. I don't want to mess it up, so I apologize. I'm going to respond to you as soon as I get on my laptop. Anyway, I want to make this video real quick. How do I say it? The sergeant was was basically saying he's about to retire. I'm assuming he's in the Army, National Guard, and he's looking to become a trucker when he retires. Those are the type of people I'm really making these videos for everybody, but specifically that type of person that's new. I don't know what his MOS was in the military or is. If he's 88 Mike, then he's a truck driver in the military, so he'll have a little bit of an easier transition to being a trucker, little bit, than the average person off the street. But anyway, I can help him. I can help anybody get into trucking, and it's not just about helping you get into trucking. I want to make sure you get into trucking in 2014, going forward as prepared as you can be, educated as you can be, and you know the rules and regulations that are in effect right now, not what was in effect in the 80s. It doesn't matter anymore. So anyway, a little bit about my background. I was in the military. I was in the Army, Tennessee National Guard, Rock on, Tennessee. I love Tennessee. I live in Tennessee. I'm in Tennessee right now. In fact, I'm in Kimball, Tennessee at the Walmart parking lot. Well, it's more than a Walmart. They got a Cracker Barrel, and anybody that knows this area knows where I'm at. Anyway, where was I? Okay, in 2000, well, real quick, short version here. In 1985, I joined the Split Up program. I was 17, getting ready to turn on 18, and that plays into part of this story. Anyway, I joined the Split Up program. I went to MEPS in Detroit, Michigan. Let me tell you something. That was something else. Never seen nothing like that before. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Basically, I checked out okay. They told me I had to go to basic training July 26, 1986. But I had to be graduated high school. Well, that wasn't going to happen. I was a year behind. See, I was getting ready to turn 18, so I had to graduate. They told me I should take night classes or summer classes, whatever I had to do to graduate. That wasn't going to happen, people. I knew that then, and looking back, I knew it then, I knew it now. I was chasing tail. I worked enough during the week to get drunk during the weekend. I mean, I was chasing tail, chasing beer, chasing cars, driving cars. I mean, all I wanted to do was enjoy my life, and I didn't care about Army at that time. Wasn't important to me. Anyway, I tried again about 3 years later, and I didn't have a high school diploma because I didn't graduate high school, as you can imagine. And they told me I couldn't join. So went down the road. By the time I was 22, I had 5 kids. I tried again shortly after that. Well, that was the time after that. I tried when I was about 20. No, I didn't have them kids yet. I was in Texas and I tried. That's right. I joined at 17. Didn't graduate high school. Moved to Texas when I was 19. Tried again after I was down in Texas for a little while. I didn't have a high school diploma or no college, so they told me no way. By the time I was 22, I had 5 kids. I think I tried again when I was 25. And what they said, I had too many kids is what they said. And I tried again when I was 30, and they just blew me off. Army didn't want nothing to do with me. I don't remember what their reason was. And they said I should go talk to a Navy recruiter. And I did, and well, I didn't. I waited 3 hours and never showed up, so I left. End of that story. So I just played, I just figured it wasn't in the cards for me. It wasn't going to happen. So I put it past me. Never thought about it again until 2003. My daughter come home from school, said she was going to join the National Guard. National what? I didn't even know what that was. All I knew about was the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. Yep. I didn't even know about the Coast Guard being part of our military at the time. They are. Anyway, each state's got their own National Guard. Each branch, military branch, Navy, Army, Air Force, Marine, has the reserves as well. I don't think the Marines have National Guard. No, I don't even think the Navy does. I think the Army does, Air Force does, but I don't think nobody else does. Anyway, so I had to go sign her paperwork. So we went down to the recruiter's office to sign her paperwork, and he asked me, just plain as day, what unit I was in. I guess I looked like the part. I'd been asked that many times in my career working for CBS for 14 years. Certain people would see me, they think I was in the military just by my looks. So, whatever. I told him I wasn't in the military. He said he could get me in, just as a matter of fact, just like that, you know. And I'll tell you real quick that I wasn't too bright at that point. I was ignorant, in fact, and I just didn't know. You know, I didn't put two and two together that, you know, we were getting ready to go to war. You know, we had troops in Kuwait, and we was getting ready to go to Iraq. And of course they can get me in. They can get anybody in with 10 fingers, 10 toes, 2 eyes, 2 ears. You know, if you can pull a trigger, you know, a trigger on a firearm, then you can get in the military. At that time, you couldn't be older than 36 without prior service. So he said, yeah, I can get you in. I said, well, give me 24 hours. I called the wife right after leaving the recruiter's office, asked her about it. She didn't like the idea. I waited, I don't know, half the day, I think, and then I called the recruiter back and told him go ahead and drop the paperwork. So October 22nd, 2003, I was officially, finally, in the military. I didn't think I'd go to war. I even asked the recruiter, you know, what's the odds of me going to war? I've been in 10 years, he said, and I ain't never been to war. We ain't been to war since the 90s. I mean, dang, what a bitch. Anyway, so lo and behold, I go to basic training March 1st, 2000. Well, I go to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, March 1st, 2004. And in processing, that's the first 5 days, you know. You got to go through all that crap, get all your shots, records, blah, blah, uniforms. Then you got to do, on the 5th day, you got to do a PT assessment. Basically, just make it short and simple, you got to run 1 mile. 1 mile. Now, most people think 1 mile, that ain't that far, but when you're 36, I turned 36 the day before that, or that day, and I hadn't run since high school. Yeah, I was on the track team a little bit in 9th grade, really didn't do much after 10th grade, except chase women, chase cars, chase beer, you know, the whole gambit. So I hadn't run since 9th grade, really. And here I am, 36, you know, 18 years later, and I'm going to run a mile. I thought, what have I gotten myself into? I knew I was going to run. I knew that. I wasn't stupid. But I just thought, I can do it, I can do it. So all we had to do was beat the drill sergeant that was in charge of that assessment that 1 mile. In other words, if we finished before him, we were good. If we finished after him, we had to stay 2 more weeks, minimum, 2 more weeks, because we were fat and out of shape, and we had to stay in fat camp. Basically, you'd have to do PT every day to get in shape, and then 2 weeks later, you'd take another assessment. If you could pass, then you'd go on to basic training. So, if you finished the 1 mile before the drill sergeant, you were good to go. You could go to basic combat training. I did. I was not the last one to finish that 1 mile. I think I was 3rd from last. Maybe, no man, it was about 4th from last. There was about 3 or 4 people. No, it was 5, because there was 3 or 4 people that had to go, that had to stay, and I didn't. So I was really shocked that after 18 years of not running and drinking alcohol and other things and whatnot, that I was able to run a mile, and I think it was 8.5 minutes. I know, sounds foolish. Some of you probably ain't never been in the military and can run a mile in 4 minutes. Awesome. So that's my basic training. I went to basic training, AIT, graduated June, come home, spent 5 days at home, off to Camp Shelby, Mississippi, 5 months there, a month in Fort Irwin, California, then right off to Kuwait. I was active duty 20 months straight, 35 days I got to see my family during that 20 months. We had been together, my family and I, my wife and I had been together since 1987, and never been apart. Raised our 5 kids, always close, did everything together. That, as you can imagine, that took a toll on my wife and my kids. Came back 2006 as a blur. Really didn't adjust to returning back home too well, but it worked out. 2008 I got into trucking. That's as you can tell from the other video, that was something I never planned on. It just kind of fell in my lap. Those cards, you know, we're all dealt cards, and that's the hand I was dealt. So I did 8 years, 2 tours, a tour in 04, 05, and a tour in 2009, 2010. I finally got out 2011 because my wife got her CDL and we were going to drive truck as a team. So that's the gist of my military background. Any questions on that, feel free to throw them at me. I know a little bit about a little bit, you know what I mean? And I'll be glad to help you the best I can or point you in the right direction to get you help. This is all about becoming a trucker. If you're in the military, National Guard or Reserves, not active, but National Guard or Reserve, you can still be a truck driver. You can do that. Peace out, people. This is Sheepdog. Have a good day.